Hello friends, so today we're going to discuss another problem from Leetcode, which is a hard problem from Leetcode, problem name minimum cost to make at least one valid part in a grid. So as you can see in this problem statement, you are given a grid n cross m and each grid has some direction mentioned as a number. So as you can see, it is also given in the problem. So one means that if you are on the ij grid point, then from that grid point you can go to, like, 1 means that you can go to the right, 2 means you can go to the left, 3 means you can go to up, or 4 means you can go to the down point. So now you are also stated that, like, there is no invalid signs, they cannot be like 5 6, and also there can be some directions in which you want to, or like the direction is pointing you to go out of bound. So okay, so now what you are actually given here is you are standing on the 0,0 grid point. Now from that grid point you can go to the direction which is given to you. So if you are like on this grid point and it is pointed to the right, you can go to the right block. Now it is again pointed to the right, you can go to the right block, and so on. Now if you you have some power also to change the direction on the grid point on which you are. So you have also some power in which if you are standing on this grid point, you can change the direction of this grid to, like, let's say you want to go to this point. So as you can see, if you go to this point, then you can easily jump to this point right away. You don't have to go through this way. Okay, then what you are actually given in this problem is that if you can jump to like these positions, then you are spending one energy. So now you have to minimize the total energy spent to reach the last block point, which is like n minus 1, m minus 1. So now you are actually given that if you follow the directions in which, like, the given current, so like the current grid direction is go to the right. So if you go to the right, there is no energy spent because that's the by default direction you have to go. But if you want to change the direction on the grid point on which you are, then you have to spend one energy. And then, like, you can spend some energies such that you have to reach the end point in the minimum energy possible. Okay, maybe there is some path like a twinkled, or like you don't have to minimize the total length of the path. You just have to find out that there should exist some path which can lead you to the end of the grid. And if you can reach the end of the grid without spending any energy, then it's fine, or else you can spend out the minimum energy to reach the end of the grid. I hope you understand the question statement now. Now to understand the solution of this problem, what you can think over is, like, first the constraints are very small, it's only 100. So what you can do here is you can first create a DP table like this. So like, as you can assume that in the DP table, the ij value, the ith j block, can define the minimum energy spent to reach this block. So as you can see, if you start from the starting block, the 0,0, it is 0 because the energy spent to reach that block on which you are standing is 0. Now what you can do here is, from every block you can go to any of the 4 directions you want. But if you go to the direction in which the block is pointing, then you don't spend any energy. But if you go to the block on which the arrow is not pointing, then you have to spend some energy. So you can initialize every block to a very large number. Let's assume that you go through every block, so the total steps is 10 to the power 4 because 100 into 100. So you can initialize it 10 to the power 5 every block, and then what you can do here is you have to minimize over the blocks. So from each block, what you can do, you just move to every block, and it should be inbound also. These paths not valid. Now you can go to all of both of these 2 directions. Now if the arrow is pointing to this direction only, then what you can do here is, to reach this block, the energy spent will be the energy spent to reach this block, so which is 0. So the energy spent to reach this block is 0 plus 0, so this, and you have to minimize this value. Now because the value you have changed, you have minimized this value, you can assume this to be a new starting point. So you can use BFS to do this problem. So what you can do here is, because now this is the new starting point, so this is also 0. Now what you can again say is that if you again go to the 4 directions, this is, you are going back. So why have to eliminate that condition? Because if you go back again, then like it can call, like, you can again recursively call the first position and then second position, so you can get into a time limit exceeded. But what you can do here is you only go to the block positions, or you can only push the block position in the BFS queue in which you are going to a position which is even smaller to the position on which you are. So let's assume that like the next block has a very large number, let's assume 3, like maybe 1 2 3, let's assume that you can reach the block in this fashion in 3 steps. But if you go to this block, then this block, and then this block, maybe the energy spent is 1, and then if you go to this block, the energy spent will be 2 only. I'm just giving you a hypothetical condition, but then in that case again you are reaching this point in a minimum steps, which is like 2. So then you'll update this block and then you'll push this in this queue, such that you have reached the point which is as minimum as possible. Then from that position you will explore the new position. Okay, but if you are going to a block which is already already at its minimum, you don't have to update it, and thus you don't have to push this into the queue. And that's how you'll do the whole problem. You just iterate over all the possible combinations from first and go in the direction in which you want, or don't go to the direction in which you want. You just have to check that if you don't go to the direction, you have to, so if you go from this direction and the direction is pointing to this, if you go to this position, then the energy spent will be the energy spent to reach this point plus this plus 1, because you are spending 1 energy to change the flip over direction of this block and then go into this block. And that's how, so if plus 1, so the energy spent to reach this block plus 1 will be the energy spent to reach this block. But maybe if the energy spent to this block, so let's assume that you have spent the minimum value stored at this point is 100 or like 10, and then if you go through this path, maybe the energy spent will be 8. So you'll update this path and then you'll put this in the queue. Or if this is 10 and then the energy spent is, let's assume, 12, then obviously this is maximum. You are going to a path through a path which is giving you a maximum value, and you can reach this block in a much smaller value, so don't update this and thus don't push this in a queue. And that's the whole logic for this problem. I'll turn on the code part now. So as you can see, I can make the code bigger if you want. So what you can see in this problem is, I'll first initialize a DP table, and this is the isValid function to check that I should not go out of bound. So then I will initialize my n and m, which is the storing out or making the global variables of the dimensions, so that I don't have to like send them again and again. You can write it down or not, it's up to you. Then this is a direction vector, so that I can iterate over all the directions. So this is because they are given 4 directions, so 0 like 1 2 3 4, but I have made this 0 1 2 3 4 because like 0 1 2 3 because it's from 0 indexing, but I have mentioned the direction as the same, so you can go to the right, left, up, down. Now I have memsetted the DP table with a large number which is 10 to the 5 or 6, whatever you want, and then initialize the starting value 0 0. Then this is the queue for the BFS, and starting pushing the initial coordinates in the BFS queue. Then in iterating over the queue till it is not empty, popping out the first element from the queue. Then this is the current or the starting like coordinate of the block on which you are. Then from that you can iterate over all the 4 possible values. So the new coordinate will be the previous coordinate plus the direction. The direction is from here. Then you can go to the next like block, and then you have to just check that whether the next block it should be valued or not, which means that it is inbound. If it is inbound, then you have 2 cases. Then you can go to that direction in which the direction you want to go is the same direction which is mentioned on that grid point. So the grid point x and y, the previous point, and the grid direction you want to go, which is this grid direction, they are same. And so what you can do, if the direction is same, you will not add 1 to it, which is like you don't spending any energy, but you will only push the coordinate, next coordinate, only when the value of that coordinate like on the coordinate on which you want to go is like if larger, such that you are placing this value now. So what you are telling is that you want to go to the capital XY position now. So dp of xy, if it is greater than the dp of x comma y, which means that my current position value is smaller such to the next position on which you want to go, thus that you will minimize that value, and then you will push the new value into the queue such that you can also iterate over that position as a starting point, because now it is updated. Or else I have another case in which I will flip the direction. If I want to flip the direction, I will only check that the next position, which is like this, it is greater than the previous position plus 1. If it happens so, then I will update the value and again push this in the queue. And in the end, all the values are updated, so I will just return out the dp of n minus 1, m minus 1. I hope you understand the logic and the code for this problem. You can see this code here again. If you still have any doubts, you can mention on the comment box. I'll see you next one. Till then, keep coding and bye.